do not raise your vibration. What do I mean by that? Well, the question is, and this is, I know the title is a bit provocative, but this really came to me, right? We hear so often and talk so often about raising our vibration, which is legitimate, right? I gave you that much for now. But in the end, I really had this thought, and for so many people, they have this question, but they don't dare to ask because everybody's talking about raising their vibration. But it's like, what the heck does that mean anyway? Like, what do you mean, raise your vibration? I want to raise my vibration. What does it mean? This is so abstract and so theoretical, like raise your vibration. What? Like, what do we mean by that? And then you might say, well, what we mean is let's do more of that and less of that. Like, let's not eat meat and eat plant food and lots of vitamins and let's go for walks in nature and let's not watch the news or any negative input, and this is how we raise our vibration. And yeah, that's kind of, there's some practical guidelines in that, what you can do to raise your vibration. But it's still, the question is still there. What does it mean? How do you know then that you've raised your vibration? And also, why do you want to raise your vibration? Like, what's behind it? What's the motivation? What's the intention? What's the purpose? What's the point? Why do we want to raise our vibration? And a lot of people are not really clear. They just talk about raising their vibration and maybe staying positive and having positive thoughts, but they're not really clear on what this means. And this is why I want to talk to you today about this whole concept of raising the vibration, your own vibration, and how it might make more sense and how it can be actually much more tangible. So I want to ask you again, how do you know that you have raised your vibration? Let's say from the day before to today. How do you know? What could be your answer? And now you would possibly have to then feel, okay, how do I feel today? How did I feel yesterday? And that is tangible. Even though we talk about feelings and emotions, but that is tangible. And that is also one key element, how you know that you have a different vibration. It's your emotions are your indicator of your frequency. This means, generally speaking, if you feel better, your vibration is higher. If you feel worse, your vibration is lower. So this means if you say raise your vibration, what you're really saying is, or what we're really saying is, try to feel better. Try to feel better. And better does not just mean happy. Well, the question is, what is happy anyway, right? That is also a term, like be happier. What does that mean? And this brings us very, very, very close to the core of the issue. We need to understand ourselves and our emotions, our emotional guidance system. And emotions are so often being talked down and kind of disregarded as the irrational part of human beings. Whereas quite the opposite, the emotions, when coming from the soul state, outweigh the wisdom of all your thoughts by far. Your emotional guidance system has a wisdom of its own, detached from your rational mind. And this is why I'm saying, when we are coming from a soul state, when we're aligned with our soul, with the greater us, because That is where the wisdom lies. If the emotions are tied to our ego and the small us, then they can be very misleading. They can guide us to all sorts of places because they come from the ego state, and they're not wise. The ego is not wise. The ego is helpful in trying to understand certain patterns and certain things, but the ego is not something you can rely on as your guidance. So when you are in touch with you and your emotions, and you connect your emotions to your soul state, then they will tell you where you vibrate, which means if you feel, let's say, inner peace, if you feel inner peace, if you know what inner peace feels like, you know that this feels amazing, okay? If you feel inner peace, your guidance system, your emotions let you know you're in alignment with your soul, because that is what your soul feels. If you feel turmoil, your emotions let you know not that your soul is in turmoil, but that your ego has taken over and you're attached to your ego with your emotions, and the ego is in turmoil. The little you is all over the place. So raising the vibration has got something to do with connecting with your emotions, and then connecting the emotions or allowing them to bring forward what your soul is actually saying. What your soul, your vibrational you, because your energy is saying. And when this feels off, you don't feel so good. And when this feels good, you're in alignment. So this is what you're looking for when you try to achieve a higher vibrational state. It's alignment with you and alignment with the universe, source, the divine. That's it. And this is by deliberately choosing how you feel, by connecting to yourself, and by not allowing all these external circumstances to influence you so much, but more like always looking to see, what's my soul saying to this? And is this actually a reflection of what my soul wants to experience and to live, or is it not? Does it feel on or off, like in alignment or against alignment? And then you go with that, and then you develop kind of a flow. And this is when your frequency comes up and rises up, because it's in harmony with you, with your soul, with well-being, with the universe. And this feels good. It feels right. It feels better. It feels more relieving. And yes, you can achieve that by not getting into the drama of the world, and by not watching negative stuff on telly, or maybe by not watching telly at all, actually, at this day and age. But you can achieve it by connecting with nature, by meditating, by choosing calm moments, by listening to inspirational music. You can achieve that through different ways. And yes, you might hold it for a while, the frequency, and then things happen during the day where, you might go up and down and up and down. But we do create a sort of a baseline vibration and frequency in our life. That's my experience anyway. Whereas some people generally are here, some people generally are more here in their life, and some people are generally more here. Now, all of them still have their ups and downs, but the baseline of their vibration is where it is. And you can raise that baseline by practicing more and more good feeling habits, good feeling thoughts, good feeling actions, good feeling, creating good feeling experiences. Because the more you have of that in your life, the baseline, the higher the baseline vibration. And this also means like the attitude of trusting the universe, the attitude of feeling and knowing that no matter what, even though this goes up and down, even though you will experience things that you feel you don't want to experience, you know, loss, grief, pain, sickness, whatever there is, you will still possibly experience all that, even if your baseline vibration is very high. Why? Because this is why we came here. Like, if you wanted to experience bliss only, you would have stayed over there, because this is where we come from. But we wanted to be humans when we were over there. We wanted to experience this. But of course, if the baseline vibration is higher, then the ups and downs also don't feel so far down. Whereas if you're really low already and everything is kind of miserable in your life and you drag on from day to day, and this goes on for decades, then every single little thing that is kind of putting a damper on you kind of brings you really down because of your baseline vibration. I hope this makes sense. So the raising of the frequency, meaning becoming emotionally aligned with our soul self, which means basically feeling better more of the time than not. This is how we achieve this higher baseline vibration, baseline frequency. Okay, and we cannot do that by just doing what we think we should do in order to raise vibration. You cannot do it by action, and you cannot do it by thought alone. It has to be done. I know it sounds a bit, what would I say, cliche, but it has to be done with the heart. It has to be done with the emotions. That's how it works. You have to work with your emotions. And if you say, oh, I really worked so hard not to feel my emotions that much, then your frequency is possibly not as high as you wish it to be. And then the first step would be to allow your emotions, step by step, in a little bit more at a time, to become your guidance system again, because they are your guidance, they are your indicators where you stand in relation to your frequency, in relation to, are you in your ego, are you aligned with your soul? Okay? For today, I wish you a wonderful day, and we will hear and see each other next time. Bless you.